All right, hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Robert Bolden, and I am with Bolden Wealth Management. And today we'll be talking about a topic that we have been talking about for some time, and that's budgeting. Today, the spin on it is that I'm actually using a template that I use with my own personal clients to go through, and I'm sharing that with you all so that you have something that you can access that is simple, practical, very easy to implement. This is a very high level budget. So for those that are looking for the very intricate, super detailed budgets, those do exist and we will be able to help you with them. But this is not the place where you're going to get that. This is very high level. So you can see what is coming in, what is going out, just really attacking and honing in on that main issue that most of our generation has, where they say, I'm making a lot of money, but I don't know where my money is going. Using a template like this is going to be able to show you exactly where that money is going. And I'll use my own example just with random numbers from income perspectives and things like that so that you can see as you go through the budget yourself and download it and get into it, how to actually use it for your own benefit. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and get started sharing the actual template. So this is the actual template that we use. Again, we use this with our own clients, and most people find this to be very, very practical, especially those who are dating and married, because you can use these sections to not only do your own information, but adding your spouse's information in here as well. So just as an example, I have Bedrock in here. Just insert whatever your company name is. Again, for most people who are working a job, this is going to be very easy where you know exactly if you're on a salary, how much money is going to be coming in every week, every 2 week, or however often you're paid. The first section we want to address is your monthly income. And this is going to be the net amount of income. And that's important because the net amount of income is what is given to you after all of your deductions and after all of your taxes have been already accounted for. So this basically is the amount that hits your account. And like I said, for most people, this is very easy to figure out what that amount is just by looking at what you receive in your bank account or on your pay stub or anything like that. So if it's just you, you will insert your company name right here. You put that net amount of income. I'm just using a round number of $5,000 per month right now. If there was a spouse or if you had an Airbnb or were collecting rents or were driving Uber or had any additional income, you could insert that right here under item and those amounts right here under amounts. So all of this would change in the summary as you update it. So if it was 2000 of income from, let's just say Uber, you could add that here and it will also reflect in this summary page right here as well. So that's good to know. For our example, I'm just going to keep it clean. I'm just using a 5,000. So you can always go back and make those adjustments based on your personal plan. The next part that we want to talk about is those monthly expenses. And what I like to do with my clients is highlight what those fixed monthly expenses are. And I know that there are variable expenses that come into play, but I typically wait to go through those just to make sure that our needs are accounted for. And that when I say needs, what I'm talking about is fixed expenses. So for your monthly expenses, you can see here, the ones that are highlighted in this kind of yellow orange-ish color, your mortgage, your rent, that is a fixed expense. Your phone bill typically doesn't change. That is a fixed expense. Any life insurance, we put tithes in there and giving. Car insurance typically doesn't change, and your car payment typically doesn't change. So all of these things, of course, this is not comprehensive. Feel free to add things as you see fit, but these fixed expenses don't change, and therefore we can know exactly what those amounts are. If you want to take it a step further, you can know exactly when those dates of those payments are so that you can account for them. So in this example, we have $1,650 for rent, $50 for the phone bill, and so on. And after all of these fixed expenses, exactly how much it is that you have to account for. So I have some other ones in here that I'm just going to take out right now, but our fixed expenses are costing us $2,650 every single month. So this is good. I know for my income, I have 5,000. For my fixed expenses, I have about 2,500 left, just to use a round number. I have about 2,500 left, which means that I have half of my income to be able to use, a little bit less than half to be able to use. So when it comes to now knowing what my fixed expenses are, just like I referenced in a separate video where I have me and my wife use a joint spend account where we can pay for some of the things that we need to pay for. And those will be our variable expenses like date nights, gas in the car, groceries that we have to pay for, and all of those things are highlighted in this pink color. I haven't accounted for those yet. However, in this chart, you can see exactly where that money is going. So I've already highlighted my income, my fixed expenses are accounted for, and now I have this amount here that is accounted for as a balance. This is what's left over. So when I do come here and I have 2350 left, I can say, okay, looking at our past statements or just knowing how we traditionally spend for our household, just throwing out a random number out there for gas, we typically spend about $200. For date nights, we typically spend about, let's say, $300. For groceries, we typically spend about $800. So just random numbers, of course, tailor this to what you need, but all in between my fixed expenses and my variable expenses, I have about $1,000 left after all is accounted for. So now this is really good because I can see the flow of money. I see what hits my account, what needs to be accounted for, and the bill account, I set it to the side right away. And then additionally, I know what's left after everything has been accounted for so that I could reach other goals. So what this balance is going to help me to do is know if I have any debt, how much can I put extra on top of my debt? Do I have any savings right now? And if not, how much can I put towards my savings? And how long is it going to take me to reach X amount of dollars for this goal? If I want to buy a new home, if I want to take a vacation, I can set specific goals if I have $1,000 a month to say, if I save $1,000 a month, I will have $12,000 at the end of the year. And you can say that definitively as long as you stick to this plan. So without this plan, this is where we say, I know I'm making money, the money does exist, but we don't have an idea of our cash flow. Where is the money going? Where is the money being dispersed to? And that's what this budget is here to help you do. So as you go through it, you can fill out these columns as you see fit, put those fixed expenses in there, add in those variable expenses. You really don't even have to add the variable expenses because for my household, what we do after our fixed expenses are all accounted for is we just take out the balance in cash. And my wife takes it and she puts it in envelopes so that we have cash for date nights. We have cash, or not even cash, we move whatever we need to move to savings. We just use a lot more cash because typically it's a lot harder to pass over a 20 or a 50 to someone than to just swipe a credit card or swipe a debit card. So that's how we operate. That's how we do things. That is not how you have to do things. If that is something that you find to be beneficial for your household, by all means, have at it. However, that's how we typically do things within our budget. So that's the gist of the budget as we go over it. If you have any questions, if you see things that you'd like to add, feel free as you go through it with your partner. This is a great template. I use the same one, me and my wife. She loves it. She has a good feel for it. And it seems to be a very good high level Excel sheet that we can use. And for those that are more involved, there are other tools that we can use. This is not the place for you today, unfortunately, but feel free to book some time to go through other budgeting methods and systems. We have those available and would love to answer the questions there. So I hope this was helpful for you and your spouse or you individually, whoever it is that's watching. And I hope it's very easy to implement. Revisit this every 2 weeks if you get paid that way, every week if you get paid that way, just to make sure that you're tracking all of your goals. And like I said, once that balance is accounted for, you should be able to definitively say, I can pay off this credit card in X amount of time, or I can save this amount of money in X amount of time. And that will give you that confidence that you need to actually say yes to things that you desire to do and say no to other things that don't fit within this budget. So again, hope it was helpful. Feel free to like, share, and just download the template. If you do have questions, feel free to book a call, and I'd love to go through this with you. And until next time, you guys have a great night. See you.